Double Fine Studios in San Francisco is in the final stages of production for its vision of metal and mayhem known as Brütal Legend. Let's go lock horns with some heavy metal heroes. I'm here now with Tim Schafer, who's the president of Double Fine Productions, and you're also obviously working on the awesome game, Brütal Legend.
Right
so
now.
Tell me about it. What's it all about?
Brütal Legend is an action game set in the age of metal, about a roadie for a heavy metal band who gets pulled back in time to this barbaric land where humanity's been enslaved by demons, and he has to use his broad axe and his guitar to save humanity.
Save humanity? Why does he have to save humanity? What's going on?
They've been oppressed by demonic overlords, you know.
Naturally.
That happens from time to time. And they also are trying to fight against the demons, but they're not really, the humans are not very organized. They're very charismatic leaders, but they're not really good with schedules and timetables and equipment. And he's a roadie. He's like, this is my specialty. So he uses his roadie skills to put together an army just like you would put together a band. And he builds them a tour bus and he takes them on a tour of destruction throughout the game.
So he definitely gets a promotion. I mean, he goes from roadie to kind of overlord in a way.
He goes from roadie to rock god.
What is that sound?
It's a devil screaming. It's an angel singing.
It's f***ing awesome.
It's called heavy metal.
So who came first, Eddie Riggs or Jack Black?
We were trying all different kinds of look for Eddie. And then we hit on being inspired by Jack Black and the work he did with Tenacious D and School of Rock, and that look. You want to have that character who's all about the music, you know. And so he ended up looking a little bit like Jack, just because he was inspired by him. And then we never thought we'd actually get Jack Black in the project. But then we got a meeting and I laid out the concept art and he signed up. And so I think it's brought a whole new level of empathy and believability to that character.
Pretty awesome, huh? But not as awesome as this. Yeah! Oh,
I know it must be kind of hard to pick what you're most proud of in the game, but if you had to pick like one or two things, what would you say those were?
Yeah, there are a lot of things in the game that we're really proud of. I mean, I think the soundtrack is a really authentic metal soundtrack, and it's got a lot of songs, like 108 songs, and we didn't just pick like, they weren't just picked by the marketing department for, you know, songs that some label wanted to promote. There were songs that we loved and we thought were perfect for the game.
Ass Kickers Unite! Oh, yeah. I like how that sounds.
I'm joined now by Lee Petty, who's the art director on Brütal Legend, and I gotta know how you got inspired to make this rock and roll world. I've never seen anything like that before.
Well, obviously heavy metal is our biggest visual inspiration. But it wasn't just the art of the album covers that we used, but the actual imagery inspired by the lyrics themselves. And we just drew and drew for years in the pre-production phase. And we always sort of asked ourselves one question, which was, would this part of the world make a kick-ass heavy metal album cover? You know, we really wanted to focus on creating a very believable, original world. And there's lots of amazing storytelling through our cutscenes. And we needed the environment and the world to kind of echo that. We wanted the player to be able to experience the world and imply some of this rich history, this heavy metal landscape. So having these sort of giant titan swords piercing the landscape around, and sort of player would say, well, what's that about? And then as they learn little bits of information about the titans and how they ascended to become metal gods and the sort of origin of this land, hopefully we've created this sort of fabric where all these things they've seen throughout the game as they play the missions all start to click and fall into place and make the world seem like an authentic, original place.
It seems like it's Eddie's dream world, pretty much. Like everything he loves in life is now here, bigger and better than ever.
Yeah, actually, it's sort of like a heavy metal fan's dream come true.
But now we gotta huddle up for the big finale.
Brütal Legend.